Please remember to subscribe and share this video to help disabled animals with donated wheelchairs. This is my aeroponics setup. Some people call it a rain tower. I have it out of the sun mostly because I'm growing shade type plants like these cabbages and lettuces. Here's some Chinese cabbage here. And these were donations or volunteers that came in my lawn, and it's red lettuce, and it's doing really well. Another thing I tried was using this as a cloner, and by taking off a branch of a tomato plant and sticking it into the media. You see right here, I'm just using rocks in there, but you can use pea gravel or any other special cocoa mat, any of that kind of stuff like that. And this is a cloned tomato plant, so I'm just kind of experimenting with it, and it's doing pretty good for being in the shade as it is. This is just some plastic overhead, and this part right here, I guess a little sun, but the sun isn't directly overhead this time of year. But this is just full of tomatoes, doing really well. And we'll see what kind of taste we get out of that. But it's doing incredibly well, just kind of growing out of this little opening right here. Now the construction of this is a 5-inch fiberglass, or not fiberglass, vinyl fence post, and just using some large PVC plastic cut off at an angle and just glued in place. I keep these cups in place because otherwise it'd be just too much evaporation going on the unused hole. So I keep these in here. It keeps the evaporation under control. Even though it's not unusual for me to go through a half a bucket of water a day, given, mostly because of this high usage of a plant right here. But just have to keep a watch on it. It's okay. Lately I've been just using Miracle Grow that you just use for your house plants, and it's doing really well on here. The secret of it is basically using a pump down at the bottom through a plastic tube all the way to the top through a sieve. And I'll show you what that looks like. This water just barely making over that, and you can see the holes that are cut in there. And most of the water goes to the outside edge, and the holes towards the middle get bigger and bigger in case there's a surge of a lot of water being pumped, or these other outside holes get blocked. So I don't check them that often. The water's pretty clean, so we usually don't have too much of a problem, but every once in a while we'll check them. Now the only problem I've had with this unit was trying to use inexpensive aquarium pumps that you could buy for $6 or $7 sometimes, and they would last a while, but without any warning they would die. And so what I finally did is I got donated a friend's fountain pump that was about 20 years old already, and I just wired it into here, and it's just working out right. It's right at the max in what it could produce as far as height of water. Probably do better if I just went down one more level, and then I wouldn't have any problem with the water pressure at all on that, for that old pump on that. But the reason why people are using the aquarium pumps is that, again, they're like less than $10, and the fountain pumps that you'd for a 3-tiered fountain in your yard often could be up to $100 sometimes. This one probably closer to $50. But they're heavy duty, and they do last, and the impeller is very strong. It's not going to break. And I was probably putting too much strain on the aquarium on that. They're not really designed for the 6-foot height that they're supposed to throw. They're supposed to just be higher volume at a smaller height. But anyway, this is very simple to make. Just wanted to give you an idea how easy it is to do. And the idea is that the roots hang inside and are kind of in an environment where there's a lot of moisture, of recirculating nutrition, and also with some air. Now, In the beginning, I had a timer on here, and I'd have it either 15 minutes on or 15 minutes off, or a half hour on and 15 minutes off, however I did that. And now I just leave it on constantly, and I'm not seeing any difference whatsoever. Maybe the evaporation rate has changed, but other than that, I'm not really seeing any difference in the quality of growth. So I thought I would share that with you. I hope you enjoyed that. If you have any questions, just put them below. I'd be glad to help out. Please remember to subscribe and share this video to help disabled animals with donated wheelchairs.